We are joined right now by a safety for the Saints. He is a Super Bowl champion, a three-time first-team All-Pro, three-time Pro Bowl selection, tied for the most interceptions by a safety since 2013. Kansas City's Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for 2021. He is a member of the 2010s All-Decade team. He was the 69th pick overall in 2013 out of LSU. Tyrann Mathieu is my guest. Tyrann, my guy. It's been a moment or two since you and I last spoke. I've been looking forward to getting caught up with you. How are you doing? How is life for you now that it's official that you are a member of the Saints and you are, in fact, back home?
Yeah, man, it's great. It's great to talk to you. I'm blessed, man. I'm extremely excited to, go back home and, really help, put my hand in the pile and really help this team win again. Just looking forward to it.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to lie. It sounds great to hear your voice on this show, Tyrann. It is good to have you back. So you signed a 3-year deal, and you did so on May 4th, 504 day. I know you have not lived in Louisiana full-time for quite some time, but does it feel like it's a homecoming and that it was meant to be?
It definitely feels meant to be, and I think anytime you go back home, especially if you've been to Louisiana, New Orleans, man, people love to party, they love to celebrate, and they'll use any excuse to, throw a parade or throw a second life. So, it's been a nice homecoming, man, to say the least. Just going back home, man, obviously so many people are proud of me. And, like I said, man, just looking forward to, just creating great memories, for Saints fans, all across the world. But, especially in Louisiana.
Tyrann Mathieu is joining us. You referenced the fact that you had been manifesting this for quite some time. When did you first start thinking about playing for the Saints? Like, when did that manifestation begin, and why does it mean so much to you?
Well, I probably say, I started manifesting this maybe a year or so ago, man. And I've been in this league, almost 10 years now, and I kind of knew that the Chiefs, weren't going to re-sign me. I think. I kind of knew that they wanted to go in a different direction, and, I was fine with that, and so, I didn't really harbor on it too much. I just kind of, kept praying, and, obviously, God put it on my heart to go back home, and not just to go home to play football. I think, a big part of this, decision to go home was to, be of an impact, in the community, and, how can I help these kids, and how can I help families in need, and so, this is not just a great opportunity for, Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. I think the Tyrann Mathieu Foundation, we have a lot of work to do, and, I think we're looking forward to doing it.
All right, so I'm going to follow you up right there. We'll go back to football in a minute, but you said, quote, I'm going to be the everyday reminder you can get better. You can turn your life around, end of quote. It's a pretty powerful statement. What do you want kids to learn from you and to see in you?
Well, that, you don't have to be perfect, and that, life is going to, deal all of us, our fair share of, bad cards, right? Like, and so, don't let that get you down. Don't let that stop you. I think we're all going to, run into challenging times, and, we're all going to feel like, it's moments that we can't get through the things that we're going through presently, right? And I think if you could just be of a reminder that things do get better, just stay hopeful and stay prayerful and continue to work at whatever it is your dream is, and, never let those things go. And, I think a lot of great things could happen for you. And, like I said, I'm hoping that, they could really look at me and not see a guy that's perfect and a guy that has a lot of money, but a guy that, has been through his challenges and, he continues to smile. He continues to give back, So I'm just looking forward to painting that picture, for the kids.
Tyrann Mathieu joining us. I can appreciate that a lot. Listen, we could talk about what a great story this is, what a great homecoming this is, but the fact is you're still playing at a really high level. You were top 3 in the league last year in coverage success rate. So how much of that, at this point in your career, how much of that dominance is about raw talent, and then how much of that is about film study and football IQ and acumen?
Well, Rich, I struggle with, I have 2 ACL injuries, and, I'm almost 30 years old, and, I played in a lot of football games, a lot of big games, too. And so, I got a lot of miles on my body, so for me, I think the next level for me is to always take it to the classroom, right? And to, sit down with coaches and, really understand what's going on, and not just with our team, but with the other team as well, too. And, I think the last couple of years, I've just taken advantage of that. You know, not that I'm the biggest and the fastest guy, you know, on the field, but I take my preparation to a new level. I study a lot, you know, and I think all those things kind of help you anticipate, you know, what play is about to happen, and it kind of helps you get in position to, you know, make a play. So for me, you know, I'll continue to do that. You know, I'll continue to really study, dive into books, and, you know, let that be a weapon for me.
Tyrann Mathieu joining us. I mean, look, you want to come home, you're manifesting that, but there's more to it than that, right? You know, based on what you just said, I know that you know that defense. I know you studied. I know you prepared for it. I know you had thoughts on it. So as you watch the Saints play defense, what kind of thoughts did you have as you studied that defense in particular?
Man, you know, it's real excitement, you know, especially, you know, because I'm a football guy. I'm a football fan, and you know, I understand the game. I understand the level of expectation. And, you know, for me, when I watch the Saints play defense, man, I just see a fast unit that hits everything that moves. You know, I see really a dominant, you know, front seven. You know, I think between the linemen and the linebackers, you know, I think those are some of the best in the business. They really play as one. And that's why I think that those guys were top 3, top 5, really, in, you know, every major, you know, category, you know, the past 3-4 years, is because of the front seven and what those guys are able to do from run to pass. And, you know, I think, you know, obviously they've added some pieces, you know, on the back end, that are going to really, you know, help the defense. So, you know, I really see a defense that just pops off the screen, man. They play fast, they play with excitement. You know, and they don't take nothing from nobody.
Tyrann, I feel your energy, man. I can feel your energy come through the phone. Let me ask you this. Like, there's schematical things, and then there are physical things, and then there are intangible things that are harder to explain. Maybe you can help me with this. For example, Charvarius Ward, who played with you in Kansas City, said that when you guys were teammates, quote, "Every day I wake up, I look forward to hearing his voice," end of quote. Yeah. I mean, really high praise. Brett Veach said a few years back, quote, "You can actually feel him, if that makes sense. He's a guy that you feel. He's that positive," end of quote. I'm kind of curious, like, did you know, or do you know, that you have that kind of reach and you impact people in a manner like that? Do you bring that kind of energy every single day and that you can move people like that? And is that something you do intentionally?
I think that's really just who I am, Jim. You know, I can remember, you know, 11 years ago, I got suspended from LSU, and literally half of the football team was like sitting on my stairs at my apartment, and they were all like deflated. You know, like they had just lost their best friend, you know, like their dog. And I think in that moment right there, I kind of realized that I was much more than just a teammate. I was much more than just, you know, a guy on a team. Like, I was a guy that, you know, people really wanted around. You know what I mean? Like, and I really made people better. And, you know, I think from that moment on, man, I just tried to always be, you know, the right kind of leader. And I've always tried to lead myself, and, it means a lot to me, too. You know, like, this game means a lot to me. You know, it's done a lot for my family. You know, I'm so blessed, and, you know, a lot of people expect, you know, me to be bitter, you know, especially with how things ended in Kansas City. And I just can't allow my heart to do that, because, you know, this game has done so much for me, you know, from certain relationships I've had, and, you know, just everything that this game has brought me. You know, it's hard for me not to give it back to my teammates and give it back to the community. And so that's just how I'm built. You know, I look forward to seeing my teammates too. You know, as much as those guys, you know, want to hear my voice, you know, I think when I see those guys, you know, those guys build me up as well too, you know.
I do know. I mean, that's what you want, right? You want to surround yourself with people who make you better, and you want to make other people better. You want to be better, not bitter. You know, Tyrann, that point you just made about Kansas City, when you look at how things ended there, I hear what you're saying. I believe what you're saying. But you are a prideful person. You gave them everything you had. You put up numbers. Is there any part of you, a small part of you, that was hurt by the fact that they did not try harder to re-sign you? And if so, I get that you're not bitter, but can you pull some motivation from that at all?
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. I'm definitely motivated by it. You know, this is not the first time this has happened to me. You know, Jim, I'm getting ready to play for my 14th, you know, so, you know, I think every step of the way, you know, I've always kind of ran into that hurdle, you know, and it's always kind of helped, relight the fire, right, or put the chip back on my shoulder. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to it, you know, get to go back home and play with a great defense that, you know, is really going to allow me to, you know, really play, within my personality. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But, you would like for everything to be perfect in your life. You would like for everything to go your way. But, I think it's no real challenge in that, So, even though things in how I wanted in Kansas City, I just look forward to, picking up the page in New Orleans and, keep writing the stories,
Tyrann, that's so great. Like, there is no challenge in that. There is no real growth in that. So, final thought, you got guys around the league like J.J. Watt, who was so happy for you going to the Saints, and he was making that clear. Your jersey is just flying out of the stores. I mean, everything is great. It's a feel-good story. I'm curious, though, like, what do you think it's going to feel like when you run out of the tunnel in the Superdome as a member of the Saints for the very first time?
Yeah, man, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to definitely be emotional. I can just think about, everything we've been through, really as a people, as a culture, in particular Louisiana. And, obviously I think about, the Hurricane Katrina, right? And, how the Superdome was just like the last, shelter really for certain people. And, it's real, man. I think it's a real story. It's real people. And I think just standing in that tunnel, man, understanding that, I'm one of those people, I think it's going to mean a lot to me. Hopefully I don't cry, man, but I know it's going to be emotional for sure.
I'll tell you what, this is what I've missed. I've missed having conversations like this. I've missed having you on the program. It is so good to have you back. Tyrann Mathieu, safety for the Saints. He is a Super Bowl champ. He is a member of the 2010s All-Decade team and making a triumphant return not only to home, but to the jungle itself. Ty, great to have you back, man. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it, man. Anytime.
Great talking to you. Tyrann Mathieu.